Hi, good evening. This is Vikas here. We had some questions from few of our old clients regarding, they asked us to do one small video on how to maintain their existing water treatment plant for apartment complexes. So to explain this, I should first explain what is water treatment plant. Generally, any apartment complex nowadays, it's become a norm where the incoming water needs to be treated. Either you get borewell or tanker. Based on the quality of the incoming water, it needs to be treated, and the builders set up something called water treatment plant. So if you go near the sump, you will see two big cylinders which are generally set up, two or three big cylinders depending on the water quality. So, so the idea is to treat your incoming water so that you don't have problems with the quality of incoming water when you use it for shower and general appliances. So when you see two cylinders, the standard ones are sand filter and a carbon filter people put, and together with softener sometimes. So the first cylinder which generally see is a sand filter which means it is to reduce turbidity of the incoming water. So if turbidity means if the water is not clear, the sand filter will reduce particles and make it little clear. So this, they use different grades of sand and different sizes so the particles are filtered. However, the higher the turbidity, there are different materials which are available which are used for filtration. Okay. So the normal sand filter does filtration up to 140 micron, which means that the strand of hair is around 130, 140 micron. So it should be able to filter hair, particles, small particles. Now, if you want finer filtration, there are materials like Next Media, which is used to reduce the turbidity further. If you have total suspended solids, you need different kinds of materials. So the first cylinder is either sand filter. The second cylinder generally is an activated carbon filter. What is activated carbon filter used for? It is used to reduce something called total organic contaminants, TOCs, total organic contaminant reduction. Together with if there is little smell, because of organic contamination, smell will go away and color will go away. Apart from this, any chlorination which is done in the pre-filtration will get removed with the carbon filter. When you replace the media for a carbon filter, you should know that the carbon which is used is specific for your water quality. For example, the carbon is graded based on iodine value. There are some carbon available specifically impregnated with special materials to remove special contaminants from your water. For sand filter also, depending on your water quality, you might have to replace once in a year, once in 8 months to a year. Because if you don't replace, there will be something called channeling. Water will pass through a particular route and then it might not filter efficiently. Activated carbon filter, 1 year, 1.5 years, it technically needs to be replaced, but at least once in 2 years it needs to be replaced for an apartment complex. The third one generally is a softener. So softener, there is something called resin, which is a polymer which is used inside the cylinder. The big cylinder has something called resin. So that is a cationic resin. So it removes the hardness of the water. So a few people ask, what is the salt quantity should we put? So the thumb rule is, if you have 100 liters resin, you'll have to put 20 kgs of salt, 18 to 20 kgs of salt in, and dissolved in you need a concentration of 18 or 20% concentration. So if you put lower salt, your softener regeneration will not happen efficiently. So how much volume will a softener give? For 100 liters resin, if your incoming hardness is say 300, it should give 8 to 10,000 liters of soft water. It can be extended to 14,000 liters if you don't want very soft water. 15,000 liters is okay. Say if you have an apartment of 1,000 liters resin with 1,000 liters resin capacity softener, then it will give almost 1 lakh liters of water if your incoming hardness is between 250 and 300 liters. So you will need around 250 kgs of salt per regeneration, which means every 1 lakh to 1.5 lakh liters, people have to put 250 kgs for regeneration. Now if you only have two cylinders, one could be multi-grade filter and then could be a softener, which is people mix sand and carbon in the first cylinder. Based on the grading, they put stage by stage. And the second one can be softener. If you have iron, then people have additional cylinder to remove dissolved iron from the water. The different manganese dioxide based material which is used to treat iron. So if you live in an apartment complex, you have multiple stage cylinders. What should you do? First, backwash is required for sand filter. Backwash generally, it is a daily cycle, generally designed for a daily cycle, daily backwash for 15-20 minutes. For activated carbon filter and sand filter, it's similar kind of backwash based on the accumulation of salt. Generally, backwash is done based on pressure differential. You will have a pressure gauge in your system which will indicate higher If the cylinder chokes more, the pressure will increase. So based on the pressure differential, backwash needs to be done. But generally daily backwash for sand and carbon. For softener, depending on the volume of water which you use and depending on the hardness of your incoming water, the regeneration needs to be done. Regeneration and rinse cycle needs to be done. So if you want any further information about your apartment complex water treatment plant, we'll be happy to help. Please send us the capacities and your doubt. We'll be able to solve it. Thank you very much.